Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I'm Paul Brooker, and today I am joined by the wonderful Kelly Galindo. Hello, Kelly. How are you doing?
I'm good. Nice to meet you, Paul.
Fantastic. Now, just to let everybody out there know, Kelly is a freedom fighter. She's there trying to do God's work. She has done a documentary called 26 Seconds, but I'm going to let Kelly tell you all about it, and I'm going to sit back and have a listen.
Yes. Thank you for having me. Yeah, I've been working on this project. I started in 2016, actually. Um, I was just going to do a short documentary on sex tourism in Thailand and Cambodia because I had seen this segment on Dateline, and I was just horrified. It was basically giving pedophiles a green light to go to Thailand and to rape children basically, and these were Western men, American, Australian, and European, and I was just sickened by it. I said, we've got to do something. So each one of us can do something, but it's usually um, where we have either our career or skills or we have to meet it where we're at. We have to give our skills. So I'm a filmmaker. I'm a professor in a film school, and I thought, okay, I can do this. So I went to Thailand and Cambodia. um, Horrific. And I came home and I did a documentary short, which did really well. But when I was there, I realized the organization that I was there with, it was called Destiny Rescue. They were also in India, Laos, Dominican Republic, Nepal. I mean, they were like in 9 countries, and I'm like, what? I was new at it. I've learned as I've gone in the last 9 years, and I was horrified. And I said, so what started out to be a documentary short became, okay, this is a global project. So I took 2 years to film in 9 different countries, and I was in Cambodia, Thailand, Iraq, which we'll talk about. That's the feature doc, one of them that's been released. Iraq, India, Nepal, 3 countries in East Africa, Tanzania, Kenya, and Uganda, Mexico, Tijuana, Mexico City, and then here in the US I shot. So it took like 2 years to shoot. Then the pandemic hit. So everything was kind of shut down. So I just created a YouTube channel because I had worked with so many amazing nonprofits that were doing incredible work with anti trafficking, like either in rescue, restoration, or reintegration. So I just did a bunch of YouTube videos to educate people and to create awareness and a call to action, because I knew that not everyone that I filmed would be able to fit in the feature or a docu-series. So when I started the feature documentary, I thought I was going to do like 3 or 4 international countries, but Iraq was such a, it was a film in itself, because it was about genocide. It was about ISIS killing Yazidi and Christian people. And so, long story short, I said, okay, this has got to be a feature in itself. So that's the feature document. Yes. So 26 seconds is actually a statistic. Every 26 seconds, a child gets trafficked globally. That statistic has not changed since I started this project in 2016. It probably works. We don't know the numbers online, and we don't know the numbers in the underground tunnels. So everything is under the umbrella of 26 seconds. So I had 26 seconds, sex tourism in Thailand and Cambodia. That was the documentary short. Then we had 26 seconds, ISIS sex slaves, which is the feature doc. And then I started the USA docu-series, which is called 26 Seconds USA docu-series. And episode 1, the clip that you have, I think you have a trailer clip, is the border crisis. So it's specific about the southern San Diego, Southern California border. But it's all, the borders are the same everywhere, in Arizona, Texas as well. But I live close to San Diego, so I covered that border. So we still have like 4 more episodes to complete for the USA docu-series, and of course the other countries. So this is like has become an ongoing project because it's an ongoing issue. Anyhow, so when I reached out to Libby to be on your show, because I have been watching Charlie Ward since before the pandemic, and he is so supportive. He's had survivors on his show. I've seen that, and I just thought, it's a perfect medium to be able to spread the word in Europe. um, the projects have been doing well. I won like over 20 awards in the short documentary and also the feature doc. And right now, the episode one from the USA docuseries, we just started submitting it to film festivals, and it's already like won 5. And they both have been distributed on Epic TV, and which is the perfect platform for my project, because Epic TV, as you know, is conservative. Um, they're truth telling, and so I think it's the perfect platform. Although Epic TV is going to be getting rid of their video online platform, but I just submitted the project, which I'm very excited about, and so your viewers can keep me in their prayers. But I submitted to Angel Studios, which was who distributed Sound of Freedom. So I'm hoping, let's pray that they distribute my project. Not only the feature doc, 26 Seconds ISIS Sex Slave, but also the USA docuseries. And it's an ongoing project because this is an ongoing issue. I know that President Trump, it's close and dear to his heart. It was in his first term. He did a lot for survivors. He also really cracked down on the online predators, much more harsher punishment. Uh, but it's bigger than that. It's global, it's worldwide, and Charlie Ward is well aware of this.
Oh, 100%. And just for people out there, human slash child slash sex trafficking is bigger than the drugs trade, because
Yes.
this is a product that can be used time and time again. A drug is a 5-minute high.
Hmm.
Dare I say it, a human being can be bought and sold many, many times over. Can I just dig in a little bit into your research
Yes,
into all of this? What made you choose Thailand and Cambodia first to start with?
because I had seen this segment on Dateline, and it horrified me because it basically gave pedophiles a green light to be able to go and rape children. So that's how it started for me. It was new to me in 2016. To be honest, when I started in 2016, not that many people were talking about sex trafficking. Now it's everywhere, from all of the freedom fighters and the podcasters, and it's become more and more, which is great. But creating awareness is not enough. People have to step up and do something.
Yes.
You could talk about it all day long, but if you don't do something and help stop it, even if it saves one life, it saved that one life, then what's the point of creating awareness unless you really get in the fight? And I realize it's challenging. Look at Charlie Kirk, just got killed for stepping up and being brave and
Telling the truth.
speaking and telling the truth. So I know it's scary, but this can't go on with children. I mean, there's a war on children, not only from abortion, but then transgenderism. And now, like, there's a huge war on children and
Yeah.
trafficking, obviously, and sex trafficking. Like, it's a huge demonic spiritual darkness that has covered not just America, but even Europe and throughout the world.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. Can I ask you what made you lead into these other countries? More specifically, you mentioned Iraq. I thought the US went in there, and the UK and a host of other countries liberated it and set it free. It sounds like it's not so pleasant as we're made to believe.
Well, this was specific to ISIS. um, I know it's very specific because most trafficking is either online or it's the social care systems. When these kids get kicked out of the system, these traffickers befriend them, and because these kids have no parents, no money, no way to make an income, and then they need love. So this is a huge problem in the United States. Our social care system. These kids are the most vulnerable. But in Iraq, it was specific. ISIS was trafficking the girls amongst each other, but they were still being sex trafficked. They were being raped and sold to each other and traded for each other. So it was, but it's a little more specific with ISIS, right? And of course, when ISIS was, when Mosul was liberated and ISIS was defeated, okay, that stopped for a time, but they're back. It's Hamas. It's the Taliban. But it's not just in those countries. It is here in the United States. It is us, that's why I have the border crisis for episode 1 for the U.S. docuseries, because the cartel has brought in, they're smuggling in children, and it's not just the traffickers and the smugglers from Mexico and wherever else in the world making money. In the United States, someone's making money off those children.
And can I ask you who do you think is making the money? Because this is this is a trade that has been going on for decades, if not century plus. How is it staying so fruitful, so virulent? It just does not seem to be stopping anytime soon. I mean, yes, the border has gone up, which is fantastic. It's slowed the tide, but as we know, it I hate to say it, it evolves into different ways. But who's profiting? What levels does this go up to? Can I
The
ask?
very top, the very top,
The very top.
the
Can I
very
ask
top.
what levels you've traced it to?
I had one survive. I've interviewed hundreds of survivors. I have one that it, there's a company called Quintessentially. Do you know this company?
No, I don't,
It,
I'm afraid.
okay, Quintessentially. It's out of well, one of the owners, CEOs, is an American, but he's partnered with Camilla's, the Queen escort,
Yes.
her nephew. I don't know his name right now, but he owns that company with this gentleman. This company caters to the elites. This girl was taken to Dubai. She saw them in meetings where they were trafficking children, children in containers over to Saudi Arabia and to Epstein Island. It's at the very top.
Yeah.
They so this company called Quintessentially caters to the elite. So if they want guns, they get them guns. If they want drugs, they get them drugs. If they want children, they get them children. If they want babies, they'll get them babies. If they want little boys, whatever they want, they get them. This is from the very top.
I mean,
Not just in England, in
no.
America as well.
Yes. And just for anyone out there who wants to even think about doubting this as some sort of conspiracy or anything, just research Jimmy Savile, and that will tell you the levels that this is at. You know, he was the fixer, shall we say, for royals. That's that's how big he was. He was untouchable. It was only after he died that it all came out about what he was really like and people who associated with
Right.
him. But, just going back to children in containers, there are always rumours from the docks that they hear screaming inside containers,
That's
shouting,
right.
save me, everything. But they still make it through. That tells you the levels that this trafficking is at. And it's the fact that they can cross borders. I mean, I interviewed a gentleman last year in Haiti, and he said Canadians fly down, sex tourism. They fly down to
Yeah.
Haiti, sex tourism. I mean, the other
Yes.
thing as well that really worries me, and I've interviewed quite a few people now on the child trafficking, people trafficking, is that rescuing them is the easy bit. It's stopping them going back into the trafficking because
Yes.
they have no processing centres to help these children, these young adults, whatever you want to
Mm-mm.
call it, get back into society. That is the worrying bit, is that it's almost like there's no intention to save these children. I mean, what are your
That's
thoughts?
why I partnered with over 40 nonprofits. And let me tell you, not all nonprofits are great. I don't think the Clinton nonprofit organization was great. I don't think Bill Gates, and the list goes on and on and on. I think even the Red Cross is included in that, where you don't know where this money is going, and wherever it is going, it's not going to good. But I partnered with nonprofits that are these mom and pops, really small, that are, and I've gone with them to these countries. I've watched them. They're doing the work in either rescue, restoration, or reintegration. These organizations are really the heroes. It's not me. I'm just documenting what these organizations are doing. They're in the fight to help, whether to rescue them. But you're right, rescue is the first step. Then there's a long process of restoration, and then a long process of reintegration. So I've kind of highlighted these nonprofits and pastors and these amazing people that are really in the trenches doing the hard work.
Oh, lovely. Thank you for that. Um, you mentioned earlier you've reached out to the Sound of Freedom. Have they been helpful towards your documentary?
I submitted my featured doc and also the episode one of the docuseries to Angel Studios, who was the distribution for Sound of Freedom. If they take my project, it will help a lot, in terms, because I still have to finish 4 more episodes of the docuseries and the rest. I paid for production costs for 9 countries, and which is fine. But then I said, God, from this point on, I'm going to trust that you're going to bring the money for post production. Now, granted, I'm a film professor, so I'm able to work with amazing students, that are interns on the project. I'm able to use the editing facility suites, and of course, when I was shooting, the camera equipment. So that saved me a lot of money. But still, production for 9 countries was a lot. That's why post production's taken me longer, because I have to raise the money and then finish it. But I can see, of course, I thought this was going to be like a 3-year project. And I even have a student that said, oh no, this will be like 5 to 10 years. I go, no. And I'm already on it 9 years. And it's because documentaries, and I'm glad that it took this long. First of all, I grew in the understanding and the knowledge of what's really happening. And because at first I was just like hopping around from countries, like, highlighting these nonprofits doing great work. It was very like humanitarian, which they are doing. But as I went through the process, I'm seeing, holy crap, it's at the top. Governments in every country.
Yeah.
It's so deep. It's really an epidemic. And you're right, it's not stopping anytime soon. But I still encourage people to not just create awareness, like sharing this video, right? That's creating awareness. It's just a click. But also, whatever you can do, whatever your skills are, even if it's just you're a prayer warrior, okay, get on a prayer team. If you're an attorney, you can help survivors some way with those skills. I'm a filmmaker, so I'm doing it in that way. You're a podcaster, so you're doing it in that way. Whatever people can do of their sphere of influence, they need to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Not enough is being done. I mean, we've seen the videos where people are confronting, where are you taking those children? And these are supposedly government agencies.
That's
And
right.
that's just in the US.
That's
These
right.
children, it's strange because they come into the country and then they move through the system extremely fast, what I find personally. And no one is prepared to say, well, actually, this child's gone here and they're safe here. It just seems like they're very quick at moving them through the system to almost make them
Hmm.
disappear into the system.
That's
And
right.
we've got to sit here and go, how much is actually being done to rehabilitate these children?
That's
Because
right.
I'm sitting here and I'm like, Trump found 50,000 children, I believe, in the first 3 months of his presidency. But there's still 350 to 400,000 missing. And
That's
to
right.
stop that happening, it's going to take a whole country, if not worldwide, effort.
Absolutely.
And we know that these sick cabal demons have protection. But as we've seen, this protection is starting to fall by the wayside now. Yes, it's not happening as quick as we'd like. But my God, the truth that is coming out is astounding on all of this.
That, that's true. But that's why my heart breaks, but he's a warrior, and I know he's in heaven with God. But Charlie Kirk, for speaking truth, his life was taken away. And
Yeah.
and it's a tragedy, not only to his children and his wife, but to the truth community, to the conservative movement, to young people who he was so inspiring, and they so need leadership right now, especially in America. It's a huge loss. I mean, I know he's in heaven, but there's a loss in our country, to students, college student age, and his children and wife. Like, it's a loss. I mean, this is what Satan does. This is what evil does. They kill, steal, and destroy.
Yes, 100% that they do. But we've lost probably the greatest truth fighter on the planet. We have lost. I mean, he was respectful for the most part in his interviews
Very much.
and his debates. You know, he'd even tell the audience not to boo them. Let them feel the confidence to be able to talk to him and have these chats. And do you know what? A lot of them, they end up changing their own minds, which is fantastic because it's not
Mhm.
about us just shouting at them saying we are right. A lot of these people need to understand what is going on because I can tell you now, the lackluster with religion, the lackluster with rules, the lackluster with common sense has brought this country world to its knees. You look at China and you look at Russia, they're not struggling. They're not
No.
they're not having the same sort of crises in humanity that we are in the West, and we're supposed
Hmm.
to be the developed ones.
America, it's bad, but I sometimes think England's worse with all, you know what I mean, with the immigration that has destroying the fabric of the country.
Yes, it is. It's very, very bad here. And like we said, Trump's stemming the flow of illegal migration, terrorist criminals, you name it. Our borders are fully wide open and we are welcoming them and giving them everything they want. There's a funny joke going on at the moment that if they dredged the channel, they'd find everyone's passports.
Uh,
That's how bad it is here. Because literally, the moment they go on the boat, they drop their passport. They pass through 5 or 6 green countries which are deemed safe to get to the UK. We're importing terrorists. We are importing terrorists, and you cannot convince me any other way. We've seen secret interviews where some of these people are admitting that they killed somebody, and
mhm.
this is their new start. Oh, it's awful what's going
and
on.
and and it's not just terrorists and killers, which they are, but their belief system of raping little girls, 10, 11, 12, 13, is happening daily in England.
Yeah. It's one of those things, but things are on the turn in England, and
Good.
I don't know how much you're keeping track with this, but we're flying flags now, and it doesn't sound like it much, but
Yeah.
it's a protest in itself, and I'm at the point now where if you find offence with the flag, you are unpatriotic, which means that
Yeah.
you are an enemy of the country because we all stand for our flag in this country. There are a whole
Absolutely.
host of veterans that have died for that flag. So
That's right.
for somebody to say, I take offence, it tells me you are not here to integrate into society, which is what the lefties, the far left want to say. No, 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 they're going to integrate. They're not going
No,
to
they don't.
integrate
No, they
at all.
don't. They don't. I mean, like all of our, they're so on Trump about deporting. These people are flying Mexican flags here. They're not integrating here. They
Yeah.
want to bring all of these different cultures. They want to bring their culture here and get into politics, and as senators, congressmen, DAs, attorney generals, judges, and change the fabric of a country. It's happening in your country too.
Oh, our country is much further along than I realised. And someone said to me as well, and I thought it was 30%. Once your country obtains 30% Islam, it will become an Islamic country. I actually found out it's 5%. Traditionally, 5%, and there aren't many countries that don't turn, if any. And I just thought to myself, it is a population replacement that stems from the WEF, stems from Gender 2030. They're trying desperately to get us into World War III. They are trying desperately. Starmer, Macron, um, Schultz, the
Yes,
rest
they
of them.
are.
They're
Yes,
they're
they
out to
are.
get us all killed. So then their lovely green card puppets can take our places in our jobs and our homes.
That's right.
And I'm sorry, that's not happening under my watch. I'm a patriot. I will stand
Good.
up for this country
Yes,
because this
absolutely.
country is worth standing up for, and so's the US. And we can see
Yes.
it now. I'm absolutely gutted to the bottom of my heart with what's happened with Charlie Kirk. But my
Oh,
God, that's going to wake up some people who thought they were on the fence. That really
that's
is. Because what we are seeing now is the left desperate. They are desperate. They are now trying to assassinate people. I think there's been 5 assassination attempts in 1 year in your country of political figures.
yeah. Well, not only President Trump twice, but also even there were two Democratic senators that were assassinated because from their own side, because they leaned towards a conservative vote on some issue.
Yeah,
I forgot what it was now. I mean,
yeah,
this is crazy. They went right up to her door, their
yeah,
house, and shot him.
yeah.
This is,
And we're supposed to believe the lefties are liberals of peace, of
yeah,
everybody living together, everything. I'm sorry,
yeah.
but that's not the case from what I'm seeing from my side of the field.
And back to your original question to me, how far does it go up? To the top. You can tell by how much. I mean, look at Chuck Schumer just is trying to block the Epstein list coming out. Well, because they were all there. That's
Yeah.
why.
I,
See. I mean, I've interviewed survivors, and I'll tell you what, survivors don't lie. They don't lie. They went through hell. They've gone through trauma, and if they have the bravery to speak out finally, they're not lying. They're putting their lives at risk. They're not lying.
no, they're not lying at all. And I'm looking forward to hear what the survivors say when they've compiled their list,
Yes,
because that is going to be a very powerful list that comes out. Because
that's right.
one thing I know is those people aren't going to sue the survivors, because then all the laundry is going to get
That's
shown,
right.
sorry. And they're not going to be able to fight this. This is a flood, a torrent, an awakening that is happening everywhere. And I firmly believe it can't be Trump going, here's the Epstein list. Because that's one
Right.
man, and all that happens is the Democrats and the evil cabals, whatever you want to call them, they target him. They don't target everybody, they target him and what he said.
Yes.
We are at a point where the people need to expose this, because if the people don't expose it, this will just carry on going round and round in a circle. Whereas the Epstein list really comes out, and I'll tell you now, there are people sweating over this.
That's right.
100% they are sweating, and they will try everything they can to stop this. But I do not believe this cannot be stopped now, because if it could be stopped, it would have been stopped. Forget
Oh,
about that. Sorry, go on.
go ahead. Well, I think you tell me, but I think the world watching what they put Trump through. They tried to bankrupt him, put him in prison, assassinate him,
Yeah,
and the people got behind him, and
yeah,
we rose. And so I hope that the other countries see that, so they do that in their own countries
yeah,
with good leaders. I mean, did
yeah.
that inspire you guys to get behind the right people in England?
Unfortunately, at the moment, we don't have the right people, from what I
Uh,
can see. There's a term going right round at the moment that everyone is saying they're all part of what's called the Uni Party, which
mm,
is all they're doing is passing the baton around amongst themselves. And it's worrying, it's sad, but I believe it's going to get to a point, and I even believe Trump will step in the UK. We can already see it with Elon Musk. I mean,
mm.
he is exposing our corrupt, sick government for what it is right here and now. And this is why a platform like X, being independent, being not censored, is what everybody needs. Because once the freedom of speech goes, it will never come back, ever.
Oh, no, 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 it won't.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Thank you, Kelly, for telling us all about your documentary and the good work. That is God's work that you are doing. Where can everybody find you? Do you want to just shout out quickly your website? But it will be in the description as well.
Perfect. It's 26 seconds doc at .com. So sometimes people get it confused. When I say doc, they think I'm saying dot, but it's doc for documentary. So 26 seconds, SECONDS, and then DOC for documentary.com. That's the website.
So all that's left for me to say is thank you, God bless, and goodbye, everybody.
God bless. Thank you.